Yeah, it's not very attractive, is it? Yeah, well, it's not raining out. It looks like it could rain, but it's a very dull day. Anyway, I was bored and haven't done anything with this channel. Yesterday being an exception, of course. Uh, I guess at this point it's pretty much just become the live stream channel, which is not necessarily a bad thing because um, you know, bigger channels out there do live streams almost every day, so why not? I mean, content is content, right? At the end of the day, a video is a video. Doesn't matter whether it's a live stream or if it's a produced video, some topic, or if it's a short. Content is content. Doesn't necessarily mean it'll be good content, but yeah, I think I'm better off with live streaming. Obviously, the caveat is that I don't have nearly enough subs to get um a lot of involvement in the chat. Uh, so that's a downside, but hey, it is what it is, right? Well, yeah, I see it. If I at least get one person commenting, then I've succeeded. Well, um, I hear you, but hey, DSN Dubstep, thank you for stopping by. To you as well, not present. Thank you to all who have liked. If you would please, all consider giving a like to the stream. It helps get more views, um, and potentially more subs. Thank you. Ooh, nice. Up to 4. Let's see if we can potentially get to 10's probably asking a bit much, but you never know. It's not impossible. I'm sure there's a way that I can kind of manipulate the algorithm to draw more people in. I'm just not sure. It's just a random stream. Just for the heck of it. Um, I would love a miracle. So yeah, lay it on me. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Beast. That name sounds familiar. He's a pretty big YouTuber, if I'm not mistaken. Does he? I forget what he does. And yes, thank you very much for the sub and also for sharing. Really do appreciate that, Mr. Beast. Z wasn't Mr. Beast the one who did he build a series of wells in? You were the one that told me about it. I would absolutely love that many subs. Also, hello, Bernard. My apologies if I'm mispronouncing this name. Amcuas. Uh, both a destructor and creator. Kind of sounds like me. um, who knows? This stream, maybe during this stream, I can get to 80, the magic number. Well, not the magic number literally, but uh, it would bring me up another 10 subs, and that would be great. Okay. So when he does something good, is it in the hopes that it will bring him uh better call Saul for subs? Yeah, I could really use his. Oh, I don't know. Would Saul be helpful in that endeavor? Hmm. I feel like Gus would be a better fit for that. I mean, he's a businessman, right? Jesse, we need to cook, and we need to do it before my wife comes home. Otherwise, she'll have my head. What would I like to show off on YouTube? Any interests? Oh, I have a lot of interests. I'm interested in voice acting. I'm interested in talking about shows that I've watched, movies that I've seen, anime that I've seen, um, gaming. Like, in all honesty, if I could turn this into a gaming channel and make it successful, that is what I would do in a heartbeat. Would love to do that. Let me think of something else that I would say as well. What, Jesse? What made you think? No, wait, no, 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 no. Jesse, were you even using your head when you made that decision? I knew you were an idiot, but this is low even for you. I am the danger, Skylar. No, 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 no. Say my name. Say my name. You're goddamn right. What games? Well, mostly what I'm in the mood for. Also, apologies. I just walking around a little bit. Hope that isn't too disorienting for all of you. Um, it could be anything, uh, as long as I own it. Um, if I could find a way to stream using my Steam Deck, I would do that. Because while I'm not usually interested in I'm not usually interested in free to play games. There is a Game of Thrones game that's in, I guess, the early stages, and um, it looks neat. Um, Matter of fact, I do have a Twitch channel. I would just need to remember how to. I would just need to get back into it somehow. Maybe I could link that to this channel. It's a completely different name, so I'm not sure if that would affect it marketing wise, negatively speaking. But I mean, hey, no reason why I couldn't link it to this, and anybody who is interested in seeing me do play games would you know could go and check it out. Um, I mean, hey, why not? Why not now, right? I mean, I never thought I would reach 50 subs. Now that I'm close to 80, it's well, then I will definitely do that. Um, I'd say I'll take requests, but the thing is, I don't really have much in the way of disposable income. Uh, Although I am hoping to get a Switch too. I would love to stream that. The new Mario Kart. Actually, a friend of mine is gonna be looking to see if she can get me a Switch too. I'm about to start a job. It's a it's a remote job. Um, and I would just pay her back. Apex Legends. I could give it a try. I could give it a try. I mean, here's the thing. I don't have. The only gaming platforms I have access to are a PS5, a Steam Deck. I have the original Switch, but that's not set up to work through the TV. Um, but I would love to if I'm able to get that Switch too. I would love to do Mario Kart World streams. Um, just because it's the in thing. Now, that being said, uh, Apex Legends, if people really like it, maybe I should give it a try. Just because it might get me tons of views. It might really help me to grow. And then they could kind of migrate to this channel from that one um, for I don't want to say deeper, uh, you know, conversations, but if they're interested in chatting at all. I do need to figure out how to make a new Instagram too, because I'm incapable of getting back into my my Instagram account, which is a real shame because it would help immensely in promoting this channel and getting the word out and the more people that see this channel, the more views and subs I get. Yeah, well, okay, so all right, here's a question. Is Diablo 4 still a big deal? Because I own Diablo 4 and I don't know if it's got crossplay, which would be great because if it had crossplay, I could even have people play with me. But yeah, I own Diablo 4. I didn't get the DLC because I just wasn't interested. But I could totally do that. Oh, Diablo 2, nice. What system do you play that on? Uh, because maybe. Hmm. But like I said, Game of Thrones. That is not a word. That Game of Thrones game, really does have me interested. Oh, you're on PS5 as well. Nice. Well, hey, maybe if you'd be interested, we could. I will certainly do so. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. Mopor. Apologies if I'm butchering your name. But yeah. Uh, I mean, this is gonna sound a little overly ambitious, but maybe we could get a stream group going. Do group stuff. Uh, because even if it doesn't get a lot of views, at least it would be entertaining. Hello there. I'm sorry if I wasn't responding to any of your messages. I don't remember. Is that Team Fortress 2? Oh, speaking of free games, I don't know if anyone here likes Yu-Gi-Oh, but I know I could get Master Duel on there. It can be. It doesn't. It's a random stream. There is no specific topic. So if you want to say something or ask me about something or uh, have a conversation, feel free. I'm still very much in the growing stage. I like Pokemon too, not so much in its current format, but you know, I still have a lot of nostalgia for those older games. Um, but yeah, um, I mean, it wasn't ever my like I said, I never expected to reach the amount of subs that I have now. And now that and yes, I'm obviously I'm well aware of the fact that 77 or 8 or 9 subs is not a lot, but it's way more than I thought I would ever have. I was not expecting to make it to 77. I thought I'd be lucky if I made it to 50. Um I love Resident Evil. Granted, I haven't played every one of the Resident Evil games, and so I'm not like a huge fan, but my favorite is Resident Evil. I have played both the original and the remake. I own both of them. I have played the original version of 2. I never played remake 2. Um, Played 5, played 6. Never played 7. Just wasn't feeling it, but I did play 8, or Village, as I think is the appropriate title for it. So I've heard. Um, and what's funny is it's been on sale for a long time now. It's really cheap at the moment, so I could just go for that. I mean, other games I like. Witcher 3 is one of my favorites. Ghost of Tsushima. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? So many games. Um, what are sub games? Wait, by sub do you mean Subnautica, or do you mean or does sub mean something? Oh, sub games. I'm guessing you mean the Resident Evil games that are not numbered, such as spin-offs. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I never. What was the name of? And there was at least two. Uh, the name is slipping my mind at the moment. Uh, Resident Evil, not Reawakening. What was the name of it? The first one, I believe, takes place on a ship, and you play as Jill. Um, and I think there's a mechanic where you get tools to upgrade your weapons, and I think you have to choose carefully which ones you upgrade. I don't know why the name is escaping me at the moment, but there was two of them, and the second one featured another one of the Revelations. Thank you. The second one featured one of the Wesker children, which we I pretty much knew nothing about outside of Albert Wesker. I know that there's what novel tie-ins and other parts in the canon. Um, oh, is Barry in Revelations too? Oh, I also had played um, Umbrella Chronicles. I think was the name of it. Which okay, it wasn't necessarily good, but I had a decent time with it while I played it. Um, um, I didn't look in the mirror before starting the stream. I hope. Hold on a second. I'm gonna turn the camera off just for a second or two. All right. Um. Yeah. The hard part for me has been not wanting to touch on current events. It's just too draining for me psychologically, and if I'm gonna be doing this long term, I need to think about my mental health, which is pretty much in the down the drain at this point. Um, um, but what's War of Game? Also, to whoever mentioned Apex Legends, I'd be willing to give it a go. Um, Reacting to what? Oh, God of War, yeah. Love. Well, what's funny about my history with that franchise is the first entry I ever played was two, which I completed. Um, then I got three. When they made that collection, uh, containing both one and two, I started to play one. I don't remember if I finished it or not. I might have finished it. I seem to recall getting to the final boss in the first God of War. But never got to play any other games because I didn't have a Vita or PSP, so I couldn't play those. Um, and then when everybody was going crazy for 2018, I think it was 2018. Uh, I was very much in the minority because I did not like the new direction they were taking it in, and I'm still very miffed about that. I'm still not happy about the direction they took that franchise in. Because it's just completely unrecognizable. I mean, st- differences in tone and story aside, like I get it, but when you look at how you've got all these indie games out there and they're retro and they're doing well. It's like, why couldn't you have stuck with the original um, template template and just up the graphics and you know um, maybe tweak the combat a bit. Um, to me, there just wasn't any reason to go in such a drastic. Uh, there wasn't any reason to change it so drastically. Um, and I didn't really care for the kid. I found him super annoying. He wasn't compelling at all to me. Um, yeah, I've got a lot of feelings towards those most recent God of War games. I liked. the second one more, but mostly in terms of gameplay. Far better in terms of gameplay. Oh, okay. Um, but yeah. Um, since we're on the subject of God of War, I'm very surprised that they didn't make an anime for it. Because when you look at how successful the Castlevania anime was, and you look at how successful the Devil May Cry anime has been, well, really both of them, because there was one from years ago, and now there's the most recent one. It's shocking to me how Sony didn't think, hey, you know what? Why don't we do a God of War anime? Um, for some stupid reason, they're opting to do a live action series instead, which makes absolutely no sense to me. Why live action? It's God of War. And not only that, but they're not even going to start with the beginning of his story. They're going to start with the Norse uh, part, and that drives me nuts because you're cutting out a significant part of his story. Viewers are not going to know what the heck's going on. I assume they're probably going to show most of it in flashbacks, but that's not going to give you the same. It's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same kind of have the same impact. Um, it's really frustrating to me. Um, Not to mention the fact that since they've been making all this money off of God of War nowadays, you'd think that they'd maybe consider releasing a new collection. They re-released 3. Why not re-release all the older games, all the other older games? Put them in a collection. Sony's kind of been on my last nerve for a while now because they have their Twisted Metal series out, and that's doing well. But they're not going to make a new game. Apparently, they were going to do a free-to-play game, which, in my eyes, no, you should never do a live service Twisted Metal. That is just dumb. Like, why would you ever do that? And now that the Twisted Metal series they don't want to make a new game. It's really frustrating. Why bother doing a series, and then when you see that series is making you a lot of money, why wouldn't you then in turn say, well, clearly a lot of people want this, so why don't we give them a new game? Oh, my food order's here. Apologies while I turn the camera off. Not that anybody would care, but we usually get a food delivery once a week from a company called Cook Unity. I did not feel like waiting for it, and I needed something right away, even though I've ordered a lot fairly recently, and I need to cut it out on that. Especially since, I can afford it, but I also can't because, apologies for that background noise. That's just the garage door opening. But, while I technically can afford to be ordering things, at the same time I can't because, all the money I get is through Social Security. But I had to get something. I couldn't wait. looks like everybody else has left, which is a shame. It says there's one viewer here, so that's something. What? Apologies to everyone. That is my cat meowing. I think she wants something. What do you want? Hmm? What do you want? Kitty, stop, little one. You need to stop. You need to stop. You need to stop. Yes, you're precious. You're precious. You're precious. You're a good cat. You're a pretty baby. I know. I know. I know. I know. Now my cat's just going to be a major pain in my butt, walking around me like a shark, trying to get at its prey. I've never seen solo leveling. Isn't solo leveling... Hey, stop. No biting while I'm streaming, cat. Alright? You can't be the center of attention all the time. Ow! Sorry about that. My cat just bit me. I don't know what her problem is. She's a little prima donna. But yeah, I never saw solo leveling. Just didn't have any interest in it. You know what? This is gonna sound petty, but it's honestly the title that kept me from watching it. Cause it's like why would you name a series solo leveling? That just sounds like an odd name for an anime title. I mean, not to suggest that there aren't other anime titles, excuse me, that are weird in some way. You know what? Here's a better idea. I didn't miss anything? Good. Kind of. Um, I saw in the most recent chapter, by which I mean the most recent chapter that's available. But I've been on a hiatus from One Piece. It started going downhill for me with Wano. Egghead came. I was very disappointed with Egghead. Now we're in Elbaf, and I just have no interest in Elbaf. I just don't. I feel like what I really liked about One Piece is no longer a part of the series. Um, and I feel like tonally, it's confused. Um, like as if Oda never really knew what he wanted to do with it. Because while it did have its comedic moments, it was fairly serious. No, it's just way too goofy and over the top, um, more than it's ever been. It's like he's more interested in entertaining himself and then writing a cohesive narrative than writing a good story. Now that I think about it, I should have seen if I could have gotten this without rice, or maybe I should have split it in two. Welcome back. Yeah, sorry about that. I've muted my microphone so that the chewing wouldn't be bothersome to anybody who might be listening slash watching. So, Apex Legends. I'll have to give that a look. And who knows? Maybe if I get enough, I see enough people watching it, then and grow a bigger audience. I mean, I know it's important to like the game that you're gonna play, not just pick it because it's popular and it gets a lot of people, it gets a lot of views. But people play games all the time. All the time, they don't necessarily love for views. I mean, look at reviewers who play games that they actively hate because people like watching them tear the games to shreds, and then they get paid for it. That doesn't mean that I would be doing the same with Apex Legends, but I don't think you have to necessarily be a fan of it to. Yeah, exactly. I need to get viewers. That's all that matters. You might be right. You might be right. I mean, it depends. It depends because to some extent, if the money is good enough, they'll do whatever, and it won't bother them because they're getting paid for it. Uh, it's like when I look at people on YouTube who talk about politics, and you get the feeling that if it wasn't for the fact that they're making money off of those videos, they wouldn't be talking about it because it's very stressful to talk about politics, especially in this current political climate. It's very stressful. But when you see people who get ad money, and possibly make money through other means, like they sell shirts and memorabilia, merchandise, you know, it probably makes it easier for them to deal with the anxiety of what would otherwise be killing them because they're making money from it. They're making money off it. It's why I realized I had to stop doing that because it's not like I'm going to get paid to talk about my opinions on things regarding how this country is being run into the ground. And okay, you're heading off. I think I'll end this stream then. Um, to anyone who might be watching after the fact, if you like any of the conversations that were had in this stream, please consider liking and subscribing. Um, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later.